Yesterday, the People's Bank of China, or PBOC, China Central Bank, announced that they would inject today via open market operations an emergency liquidity program of 1.2 trillion Chinese yuan, which is equivalent roughly to $171 billion. This brings the total of emergency liquidity injections through China's own versions of Repo Madness, either daily, overnight Repo Madness, or 14-day repo transactions, to around $500 billion in just the last 3 weeks or so. And if you add in the daily repo amounts, it's even larger than that, on top of the bailouts that China was already doing. And yesterday also, Chinese government and other regulators and the People's Bank of China announced short seller bans, and institutional investors are not allowed to sell large blocks of stock. And in spite of this, the Chinese stock market was down considerably, losing around $400 billion in value. So China's pulling levers. They're doing bailouts. My China bailout video was demonetized by YouTube immediately, and I protested it, asking for a manual review, and it was, of course, denied. So YouTube and Google are in bed with the Chinese government. They do not want accurate coverage of this, while the Chinese government is blaming the US government for not helping with the coronavirus. But clearly the coronavirus is doing immense amounts of damage to the Chinese economy. But don't worry, the Chinese GDP growth for the Q1 2020 will magically say that there's still 6% GDP growth, or as Leland Miller, CEO of China Beige Book, is saying, that there will only be a 40 basis point or 50 basis point drop at most in the official Chinese GDP. Meanwhile, an enormous amount of the Chinese economy, there is no business operations in many Chinese cities, according to a lot of the data, and then oil demand has fallen a lot and a lot of other problems. I'll address this in a live stream show. There's so many topics that I probably can't cover this on a short little video, but I was asked to do more short videos like this one and mix that into the content for updates.